Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we'll be talking about a casino that was on the old west side of Las Vegas around the mid 40s was when it first opened up, and it would be around the area until about 1964. This club was called the El Morocco Club, and I'm sure many of you have heard the name or seen some of the chips from the casino. It wasn't a large place at all, and the history behind the club is a little unknown, but that's what we're here to talk about. Learn more about the place, and possibly get some more information in the coming years. The El Morocco was located at 1332 Northeast Street, Las Vegas, Nevada 89106, and back then that area was much different than it is today. I haven't been up there myself ever, but I wouldn't mind going to take a look at where all these older clubs used to be. It opened in 1945 and was one of the few places in Vegas where African Americans were allowed to go gamble. We have to think about what time these clubs were open and how many places didn't allow people of color into the casinos on the Strip or downtown. Frank Wilson was the owner and originally operated the club as a bar with slot machines, and a few years later it would get closed by the police, although there has never been a reason. One source states that the place was possibly hosting for an interracial clientele. Didn't take too long for it to open back up with blackjack, craps, and poker tables. Exactly what people were looking for in a casino, and I'm sure this club was a hit around the area. At the same time the El Morocco was open, close by you had the Cotton Club, Brown Derby, Moulin Rouge, Love and Lee's, Green Lantern, Town Tavern, the Little Casino, and many others. This area of town was getting popular for those of color because it was the place that they were allowed to go gamble, express themselves, and enjoy entertainment without worrying about others that were having a good time on the Strip or downtown. Frequently, you would also have artists like Louis Armstrong, Sammy Jr., Frank Sinatra, and many others come by to perform or just to hang out and have a good time. Business at the El Morocco was steady and good up until around 1955, when it would unfortunately be destroyed by fire. A few years later, in 1957, a new owner rebuilt and reopened the El Morocco, and this time the casino was open for a brief amount of time and would close in 1958. The empty building sat for 2 years being vandalized by others and getting weathered to the point where it was condemned by the city and razed to the ground. Less than a year later, in 1959, at the same location as the original El Morocco Club, the new El Morocco would open on March 11th, with Oscar Crozier being one of the owners. Crozier was said to be the liaison between the Strip casino owners and James McMillan, who at the time was the president of the local NAACP. And it was said that the new El Morocco only lasted 11 months, and in February of 1961, the first new El Morocco club closed. 2 years later, in October of 1963, the final new El Morocco opened, and it didn't last long either. This time, Val Ruggiero was one of the owners, and he had licenses for blackjack, slot machines, craps, and poker. In April of 1964, Ruggiero, or one of the other owners, left Las Vegas and the business was closed for the final time. Now, let's talk about the chips quickly. They're really interesting and different from other chips that we may have seen from other earlier Las Vegas casinos. At the original club, we see T-mold chips as well as diamond mold chips, which for Vegas we don't see too often. And specifically, the earlier places had these types of molds, but many didn't. Then into the 50s, we have the HCE mold chips, as well as the introduction of TR King chips, both small and large crown. And at the new El Morocco, we see the same type of zebra artwork as the original club, but on Christie and Jones hat and cane chips, which were very nice. I've always really liked these ones, as well as the TR King ones. And I believe the link between the two clubs is the zebra, and I wonder if it was just for the logo or if it had some sort of symbolism behind it. Now that could have something to do with it, but I've always really enjoyed the El Morocco chips. Although there isn't much history about the El Morocco, I hope you have all learned something new. If there's something that I missed, or if there's some more information that I didn't mention, please put it down in the comments. Let's share this video with friends and family, and thanks for watching as always. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.